this is another theory I have, is there's a curve to, especially with martial arts as well, there's a curve to your understanding of a martial art and how much you actually know and how much you think you know, because you come in and obviously you think, oh, I don't know anything, I'm a white belt or whatever. You come in and you're, oh, and then you learn a certain technique. And this what happened when I came into the jiu-jitsu class. I learned a few techniques, and I was like, oh, I'm great now. I'm amazing at this, because I didn't know I didn't know of the other. I didn't even know they existed. I hadn't seen a black belt fight another black belt, so I didn't even know. So it's actually true intelligence is knowing about.
Oh, yeah.
True intelligence is knowing about the things that you don't understand and being honest with yourself. Because someone who's in just that middle section, who's learnt some things but doesn't know what's further than that, that's the worst place to be. Is
So, like,
someone
your
who
point
thinks
as
they know
well,
everything. Yeah.
with that example that you gave, like, so you as a white belt, you stand and watch the two black belts, and then you're like, oh wow, like I know nothing. Like,
Yeah.
look at all this stuff I
And
don't
that's the
know.
best
Yeah.
that's the best feeling to have, is the feeling of knowing nothing. It's the
Right.
most
Yeah.
productive
Yeah.
feeling to have, and that's why I think extremely intelligent people, that's where I think they look to be most of the time. They
Mm,
look to be, at all times, you should be a white belt watching two black belts fight, I believe, at all times.
great analogy. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Um,
Sorry, we got off track there, but I just wanted to
no, no,
know, it's
no,
good
no.
because
I love it. I love it.
things
I
like
love it.
discipline and working with your hands are things that I very much believe in. So it's good to,
It's different. I
yeah,
don't know where this concept of I mean, it's all to do with elitism and ego at the end of the day. But intelligence comes in many different forms. Like, for instance, trades, people working on cars, building things with their hands. I just see that as a different form of intelligence. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You still think with your mind. Do you know what I mean? It's just because you're not
mm,
sitting there thinking about philosophy or science or math doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. For instance, many of those people that tend to be in those higher, what was considered like higher levels of society, let's put it, they tend to be really crap at like really obvious commonsensical things. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So I think, like you said, like someone who is truly intelligent, who's ideally pushed away their ego. I think it's the death of the ego is a very important thing. You need
definitely.
to eliminate your ego, because ego is what I think prevents us from achieving our potential. Because it's when you start getting caught up in, well, what people think, your estimations of yourself, because you'll start putting limits upon yourself or allowing others to put limits upon you, and that's just not realistic. There are no limits. As a human being, there are never any limits. This
Mm,
whole experience is about testing oneself.
mm.
How far can I push myself? What can I achieve? The journey never ends. It never ends.
Ego is the thing that holds a lot of people back, because it's easier, the middle band that I was talking about, the middle band where it's like you think you know a lot and you're naive to what's above you, right? You're a blue belt and you're naive to the black belt techniques.
Mm.
A lot of that, even if they understand that there's techniques further than their understanding and things that are further than their understanding, ego is what
Mm.
holds people back, because it's easier to remain in that. It's more comfortable and easier to remain in that mindset of, I know everything and I don't need to learn anything else. It's easier to stay there than it is to come to terms with yourself and defeat your own ego and actually realize and be honest with yourself that you don't actually know things, because that's a hard thing to, that hurts, doesn't it, when you're honest with yourself and you say, actually, I'm not that good at this. That's difficult.
Mm.